Hey again, it's Christina from Sunshine and Flora. Well, it's another bouquet making day. I'm back here in the workroom of the storefront and I've got those 4 weekly bouquets to make for my client that gets some every week for herself and her employees. I'm actually going to be making 6 bouquets today because I want to be able to have some available in the storefront. This week starts my midsummer plant sale in the store, so I hope that the storefront is really busy. And you may notice behind me, I've got some wood torn off. We have had a bunch of rain lately. I'm happy to report the basement is dry after getting flooded, but I had a little moisture here. So my contractor was here this morning doing a little bit of work, troubleshooting, and we're gonna get rain again tomorrow night. So we'll see if it happens again or if he has it fixed. We're thinking he has it fixed, but we will just wait and see. So first, I just want to go through and share with you guys all the beautiful things that I have for the bouquets. I have a couple new items this week that are finally being harvested out of the garden. I'm really excited. One of those is Lisianthus. Oh my goodness, these are beautiful. And these might be the biggest Lisianthus blooms that I have ever grown. These open up huge, like, compare it to my face. They're so beautiful. I don't even know what variety this is. ABC white? I'm not sure. Lisianthus are known for lasting super long in the vase. The bottom ones are open. The next ones are opening, which is when I like to harvest them. So each one of the bouquets are going to get one of these Lisianthus. Let me show you this bucket first. So I've got, a bug. I'm gonna have to get that out before I give this to someone. I've got a bunch of mountain mint, which smells amazing, but it's a beautiful foliage. So everyone's gonna get 1 or 2 of those. And then I have this cool blue echinops. These are pokey like thistles, but they're very cool. So each of those bouquets is gonna get 1 of those. And then I've got a whole bunch of colors of snapdragons. I've got a bunch of yarrow, a little bit of status. My status is really just starting for the season. I was kind of late planting it, just like everything else. And then I've got a bunch more snapdragons, more yarrow, and then a few of these Fama Blue pincushion flowers. So these are just gonna be super bright and colorful. So I think the way, let me move a couple things first. I wanna get my assembly line going. All right, so I think the way I'm gonna assemble these is going to assemble, oh my gosh, it's been one of those mornings. I'm going to put a nice stem of mountain mint in the middle. Then I wanna make sure and get 1 stem of echinops kind of poking out the top. Then I'm gonna put the big Lisianthus, maybe opposite of the echinops, also peeking out the top. And then I'm gonna fill it in with snapdragons first. I think I have enough to put 1 Fama Blue in each one, so I'm gonna put that in. So that's also peeking out the top. Then I'm gonna fill it in with snapdragons around, then yarrow around, and then a piece of status on the outside. So I'm gonna put a healthy number of snapdragons in here. And I have quite a few of these Potomac apple blossom, which I think are really, really pretty with the Lisianthus. I'm gonna put like 6 snapdragons, I think. Some of these Potomac apple blossoms are really tall. 4. And this is my client that doesn't love purple, but they're each gonna get a lavender. I think it's gonna be enough of colors. It's not gonna look all purple. The Potomac Royal are starting to bloom, which technically is a purple, but it's like a really vibrant, almost fuchsia. It's one of my favorites. And then the orange is also starting. Oh my goodness, if that's not already a beautiful bouquet. So there's 6 snapdragons. Then I'm gonna put, I think like 4 yarrow. I kind of like the yarrow to frame in the outside. And I have a lot of pink yarrow right now. 3, let's do 5 on this one. My gosh, these are so colorful. I love it. This big Lisianthus I want out the top because that is definitely the focal flower. I wish I had more blooming right now. Honestly, I would put 2 in each one. I can see some out the window. They're not quite ready. I think next week will be the week for my outdoor ones. These are all from the hoop house. Okay, then I'm gonna do, this one's kind of a little wonky. He doesn't look the best. My status is a little slow. And I think it needs a little more fertilizer. Okay, let's put this pink status over here. That's pretty. I'm gonna add a couple more snapdragons. We'll go heavy on the snapdragons this week because I've got a lot. There we go. All right, that's super pretty. You know what? I think I have enough to do 2 mountain mint. Ugh, my mountain mint is not netted, and that's what happens when you don't net it. I'm gonna do 2 mountain mint, I think. I kind of like to strip it so it's all the way to the top, so it's just a little poof. Oh yeah, that really adds a lot on the side. Okay, there's bouquet number 1. So this week, lots of snapdragons for color. The Lisianthus and the Echinops are kind of the singles that are in the middle. Yarrow as usual. Mountain mint. That's just a really pretty bouquet. This one has a couple dirt spots on it. I'm just wiping off because I can do that because it's being sold in the store. I would never sell a dirt spot one to a florist. These wipe right off. There we go. Okay. And now these additional Lisianthus blooms should also continue to open. I think next year, oh my gosh, that's so pretty. I think next year, just planning forward, I failed with stock again this year. I've never successfully grown stock. I'm giving up. I'm not even going to try it next year because I need room in my hoop house for something else. I think I'm going to do Lisianthus instead of stock because these are beautiful. They have a really long vase life. The stems are really good. So I'm canceling stock. Canceling it from my order. Well, I haven't placed my order, but I've kind of got my list written down, so I'm going to cross it off. Stock is one of those things too that it will either be double or semi-double. And you can tell when it starts, when it gets its first set of leaves, and I have done videos on this. The doubles are definitely the more sellable stems. However, you can use both in your bouquets. So they're just a little unpredictable, and some varieties will be double definitely more than others. I think for me, they just don't work. Well, for one, I don't ever get them planted early enough. I think they have to be planted extremely early to root in, to develop, to get healthy plants. And I just think I don't ever plant them early enough, and I can't plant them early enough. Ooh, look at that double stem. I can't plant them early enough because of my zone. And I don't believe that they will winter over like the beautiful snapdragons and Campanula did. So I'm crossing it off my list. All right, I'm going to rearrange this. I'll be careful with the Echinops so that I don't poke myself. Okay, the Lisianthus, there, I want that central. Okay. I want to get one of these Potomac orange snapdragons. Now he got clipped a little short, but that's okay. All right, let's flank with a bunch of yarrow. I may add in another stem of mountain mint. Oh, I forgot the Fama blue. There we go. 4. Oops. Oh, these are getting tangled. There we go. 4, 5. All right, a stem of status. I've never loved the pink status. I think it's called Rose. But for some reason this year, I really like it. Like, it's almost my favorite. Maybe it's because my blue isn't fully starting yet. Or it's not blue. It looks kind of blue. Deep blue or violet, whatever that's called. I'm thinking that's because that hasn't fully started yet. And the rose is just the strongest, earliest one. When you grow status, the first stems are always a little bit shorter, so you got to wait for the next stems to get a little bit taller. And the rose seems to be the one that is the earliest this year for tall stems. So I don't know, but I'm really liking it. I've also got some apricot status planted out there, which is usually my favorite. So I cannot wait to see how that looks. All right, number 2. How am I doing for time? Oh my gosh, I got to kick it into high gear. He's a little wonky. I'm going to start with 2 stems of this mountain mint. The mountain mint should be netted because it's a little curved, but when you kind of put them together like this to flare out, it almost widens the bouquet, and I think it works. And again, these are not florist bouquets, but sometimes florists, I think, like the drapiness because then that really adds a little movement into their arrangements. I don't know if I will use him or not. Potomac Royal every year is definitely one of my favorites. Whoa, look at that apple blossom. That's a good one. This was a hoop house bloom. My hoop house stems are good. And I'm really happy to report, I got a little dirt here. Really happy to report my thrip issue is improving. One of my flower friends gave me some sprays, but she also gave me some nematodes. And I added those to the soil, both inside and outside. And I really think that those helped quite a lot. Sorry, I'm thinking as I go here. I need to save that. I need one more Snapdragon for this one. Okay. That Lizzie looks a little... I'm going to switch it out. There. I like that one better. Okay. Yarrow. I have to go pick some more yarrow. Yeah, so the thrips are looking a lot better. And you know what? I didn't have a full infestation of thrips. So I think that I got them in time. And a lot of my Snapdragons in the hoop house were not quite open yet. And so I was able to get in there before they opened. So I think that maybe that helped as well. I don't know. It was my first year with thrips. I'm hoping that it stays good. I also, did I say I put the nematodes outside? I also put them outside. And I haven't seen any problems with the thrips outside. I do, however, have major weed problems. And if you saw my last video about my garden failures, you saw all my issues and failures for the year. Shared my real life garden for the year. Oh, those are just so pretty. I need another bucket. I feel like this video is a little scatterbrained. Sorry, you guys. I'm going to shift this. Move this out of the way. All right, let's do one more of these bouquets together. Oh! The water poured right on top of the bouquet, which is fine, but I just made a huge mess on my sink. It's going to be one of those days, maybe. All right, a beautiful Lysianthus in the center. You know what? I forgot to put an Echinops in that last one. That's going to have to be one of my store bouquets. Let's go ahead and make a couple for the store. I only have 4 of the Echinops, and I want to save them for my weekly customer to get those since they're a little bit more of a specialty item. I will have more. They just haven't fully put on all of their blue color yet. There's a Fama blue. Okay, I got to get some of this yellow and orange in here. This is a Chantilly. This stem is really thin for some reason, but I'm going to use it anyway because it adds a little pop of yellow. Add one of the orange in there. Gosh, the orange really adds. I'm going to pop the Lizzie up a little bit. I'm going to throw one of these red ones in. I don't know what this is. Sometimes these red ones bloom more open and sometimes they look normal. And I only have a couple plants, and so I'm not quite sure what those are. but they're pretty. And since I have the red in this one, I'm going to use a little bit more of the white yarrow versus the fuchsia yarrow. I've got one peach yarrow. Let's put that in there. Here's another one. It's like a pale pink white. And this is a store bouquet, so this is a little less value than what I give that weekly customer. So I'm going to call that one good. Did I say storefront yarrow or storefront bouquet? You guys are going to think that I'm a little bit crazy this week. It's been a really crazy week. I did not do the farmer's market because my daughter has swim lessons this week during the same time. Of course, I am the market coordinator, so I did go and set up the market and then had to come back and take down the market. But I did not have my flowers at the market this week. Okay, this is for the store. All right, two more. Another kind of curvy mountain mint. Beautiful Lisianthus. Echinops. The pokey part of the echinops is the leaves. It's like the tips of the leaves. But if you pull them off, kind of peel them back, they're not bad, and then the rest of it is fine. These are just a little pokey, but actually the leaves are pokier than the actual bloom. And the echinops I can use to hold up the mountain mint. I just want to make sure I get this Lisianthus to the top so that we can see those really well. All right, I gotta get the royal in there. I might honestly have to go out and pick a few more snapdragons. Kind of running low. I think I'm gonna have to. This little yellow dainty guy, he only has a few blooms. Oh, here's a couple good white ones. I'll have enough for this bouquet. And then I'll have to go pick more and do one more bouquet probably in a little bit when I conclude this video, because it's almost time to open the store. I also added a day that my storefront is open during the week. I've got one of my friend's daughters that's working here for the summer, which is really exciting. Not this week because she's at the fair, but we have added Wednesdays to the storefront hours. So if you're in the area and you want to come shopping, hopefully next week we will be open on Wednesday again. Ooh, there's a really good pink one. I'm going to put that right on the side because I'm out of status. And, oh, I'm out of Fama Blue. I need to move the Lizzie to the center. There we go. That needs to be, oh yeah, right on top. There we go. So pretty. So yeah, I'm really excited to have the extra day for the rest of the summer open. And then we'll see how fall goes. I am in the height of senior photo and family sessions right now. July and August are the busiest during the week besides October. And so with all the rain we've had, I have just really had to reschedule a lot of shoots. And this is probably, I don't know if I've ever been this busy before, which is good, but parts of the garden have gone on the wayside because of the rain and because of my schedule. And I think I'm going to have to plan a little bit different next year. I'll make sure to share my garden plan when it gets closer, but I think I'm going to have to plan a little bit different. Maybe fall plant more, rely more on perennials, and then the annuals that I start from seed and plant in the spring, maybe streamline it to be a few less varieties. Zinnias is one thing that's suffering for me this year. I didn't get them planted, and sunflowers, and which if you saw my failure video, you already know that, but I want to be able to have the same size garden. I think I maybe just need to streamline things a little bit more. So anyway, I'm going to run out and harvest a couple more things. I'll come back, make that last bouquet, and then I'll give you a view of all the bouquets right after this. All right, here they are. Really beautiful colors this week. I think they're going to love them. The shop ones are just a little bit smaller. They are the ones that don't have the echinops, and they have a little less snapdragon. So they're just a little bit smaller. It makes them a few dollars less value. So I hope you guys enjoyed seeing this round of the bouquet making video. It's time for me to bring a few things over from the studio, open the shop, and get ready for my plant sale. So hope you're having a great week. Make sure to subscribe to my channel, share it with your friends, and we'll see you soon.